Welcome to Class TV. I name myself Alewi Tosin. We welcome you to this new topic, variation, which I'm discussing about what variation is all about, the types of variations, calculations involved, and so on and so forth. Now, the concept of variation deals with the concept of proportionality. It talks about the relationship between two or more quantities. It talks about the effect a quantity has on another quantity. Now, there are four types of variation. We have the direct variation, the inverse variation, joint variation, and also the partial variation. We are talking about each of these types of variation one after the other with understandable worked examples on it. Now, what does it mean for two quantities to be directly proportional to each other? I.e., what does direct variation means? We said two quantities or more quantities are said to be what? Directly proportional to each other if the increase in quantity A leads to increase in what? In quantity B. Or decrease in quantity A leads to decrease in what? In quantity B. Now, for example, if we have quantity A as the price of fuel, and we have quantity B as transport fare. Now, if there is increase in fuel price in the country, what happens to transport fare, the commercial vehicles? Transport fare does what? Increases, which means that what? Increase in fuel, increase in cost of fuel leads to what? Increase in what? The transport fare. That means that what? Our A is directly proportional to what? B. Because increase in A leads to increase in what? B. And it is written like this. Yes, there is an increase in A which leads to what? Increase in B. And when fuel price decreases, there is possibility of us also having what? Decrease in what? In transport fare under normal circumstances. Now, there is something that is constant in both. Why? The increase in this, having effect on this, brings about a constant. And that constant, when we are having A direct proportional to B, we say is equal to what? KB. Where our K is called the what? The constant of proportionality. Constant of proportionality. Here our K is the constant of proportionality, which means that for us to take a question on variation, we must first know what our constant is. In this case now, to get our constant, we divide through by the coefficient of the constant, which is B. So we say that the constant is what? Is A over B. So it is after we know the constant, then we can determine any other variable we are told to what? To determine. So that introduces the concept of what? Direct variation. Now, let's take a question. Now let's look at this question. It says if C is directly proportional to N, this is sign for direct proportionality, and C is 5 when N is equal to 20. The question says find the formula that connects C and N. Formula that connects C and N. Firstly, it says C is directional to N. And this means that what? That C, this means that C is equal to Kn, which is the constant. We divide through by N. Divide through by N. This N cancels this. Then we are able to say that what? Our K is equal to what? C over N. Now, when N equals 20, we're told that our C is equal to what? 5. So in that case now, we say that what? Let's sub for C equals 20 over N is what? Okay, N is 20, sorry. N is 5, C is 5, sorry, and N is what? 20. So which means that K is equals to 5 here 1, 5 in 20 is 4. K is 1 over 4. Now, our constant here is 1 over 4. So we need to what? Sub for. Let's take this as equation 1. So we say sub for K equals 1 over 4 in equation 1. Our equation 1, which is what? Okay. Let's take this as equation 2. So our equation 1 should be the beginning, which means they're telling us to solve for C. K is equal to 1 over 4 in Kn. So it will be C equal to, what is your K? 1 over 4 N, which is equivalent to saying C is equals to N over 4. So this is the relationship between what? C and N. C is equals to N over 4. So that's the formula connecting C and N together. So let's take more questions in the next class. I am myself, Aliwi Tosin.